Next level crazy is the CEO, the healthcare insurance CEO shooter. This guy who was apprehended. This has still many angles to this. Nothing is for certain. I would still say that this is allegedly. We still don't know, have not confirmed if this is the guy. All that has been found about him confirms that he is the guy. Now he's denying it. It's so confusing. We're gonna take a look at the proof that we have so far, all the evidence that we have so far, to see if this makes sense. For those of you who are out of the loop, it was this giant company, UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson, was shot dead in New York City, getting out of the Hilton at 6:45 a.m. by a guy with a silencer. And the guy, well, was being looked for, and he was found. But it's so so strange, the circumstances. The first one is that even if we have so much evidence against him, he appeared, the suspect appeared, turned around and shouted at the press saying, "That's completely out of touch and an insult to the intelligence of the American people." We don't know what does he mean, but we're going to realize that this guy is really smart. Why is he really smart? We're going to find out shortly. But let's watch this video. Viewer discretion is advised for this topic, of course.
Down.
Oh my God! That's completely out of touch and an insult to the intelligence of the American people and the lived experience.
Something really strange, because he basically, it's not like he handed himself in. He was just eating casually at a McDonald's with everything on him, and nobody can understand. But Jack's HQ on X did a very good summary that we can read and understand what is this about. Let me get this straight. This is why this case is so strange. Let me get this straight. Killer is Luigi Mangione, Ivy League graduate with degrees in computer science, avid reader, and active contributor on GitHub, site in which you contribute for programming. He has very well a 130 plus IQ, but he takes off his mask at a Starbucks to flirt with an employee, then an hour later goes and calmly kills the CEO of a major healthcare company, rides away on a bike. What is this? A week later goes to a local McDonald's where he brings the murder weapon, the fake ID he used to check into a hotel, and a written manifesto on how horrible the American healthcare system is. He somehow gets identified by the cashier after he sits down. This is 1 week later, after the shooting happened. He works on his laptop until police come inside the McDonald's, sitting there with a ghost gun and suppressor he made himself. Gotcha. How does this happen? How is this such a thing? We got, again, some clues. We got no concrete evidence. And, well, this is some of the background that has been compiled about this guy. First, born into a wealthy family. This is one of the craziest parts, in which the net worth of his family was, or is, higher than the net worth of the CEO he shot dead. That is strange in itself. Then attends a $40K a year private school, becomes valedictorian, earns a bachelor's and master's degree in computer science by 26, no criminal record, no behavioral red flags, clean slate, sharp dress, photogenic, chat, and active on social media. We're gonna see those social media posts. Really smart guy. Vacations abroad, posts polished photos, looks like he's thriving, lands internships and builds a resume that screams success. spends free time exploring AI, mushrooms, and self-optimization trends. I hope it was not ayahuasca. Writes a Goodreads review on Ted Kaczynski, sprinkles in safe, edgy. Joins, remember the Unabomber who was against technological progress. Joins the professional world, follows the system's script perfectly. No signs of instability, just another rising star in the tech scene. Disappears from friends for 3 months, and then he kills UnitedHealthcare CEO. What is this? Oh, Yvonne, it's like you say, Yvonne on X, I think he was chosen to be the fall guy. I think there's a word for that. I think the word. I think there was a word. It was pasty or something like that. Like he was the pasty or something like that. That is a word that people were using. He was somebody just chosen to be the fall guy. But how does this happen? MK Ultra. Hey, I wouldn't discard that. I wouldn't discard that. I wouldn't discard that at all. If I forgot the word that they had used, but this is so strange. This is the level, okay? This is the level of intelligence that we were talking about. He was very active on social media, and this was a post on X. I'm going to just read part of this. I should have added some context with that clip. I wasn't trying to contradict you, but rather bolster your point. Tucker is spot on in recognizing that modern architecture kills the spirit, but his very first line, postmodern architecture is designed to demoralize and hurt you, paints the phenomenon as intentional, in the same way that inflation is not intelligently designed to oppress people. Neither is modern architecture. It's emergent, yet it's oppressive, but that's a fallout of selective pressures to build fast and cheap, irrespective of aesthetics. Yeah, you need to be smart to write like this. And I know how ChatGPT writes. This is not ChatGPT. The guy was or is actually smart. Okay, that is a given. So what is this about? Yeah, I had that confusion you did, Patsy, and I thought that were pasties. When I looked for pasties, I found something that was not something that I was looking for, but I like it anyway. But you know, sometimes getting confused is sometimes getting lost helps, right? So was Ted as well. So was Ted. In the 3 hours after, this is another take. In the 3 hours after Twitter found out about the UnitedHealthcare CEO shooter, we found out basically his entire life story. Trump's shooter had 6 phones, and we still don't know a thing about him 5 months later. Okay, this is just in. UnitedHealthcare CEO murder suspect Luigi Mangione denied bail. He was denied bail. Of course, there are all kinds of conspiracies. If this is the guy, because of some pictures, but the problem is that some of those pictures we don't know if those were pictures. Those were pictures of people of a person of interest, and we don't know if it was the same guy. No, it was. They didn't have the same brows. We're talking about 1 week apart. But maybe this was just a person of interest, but not the same guy. I don't mean to be that guy, but how is the CEO shooter growing a full unibrow in 3 days? I mean, I guess I can see the dude smiling as the same person, but this first guy has 2 separate eyebrows. That I'm sure. Yeah, the kind of things that we don't get. There's no shortage of memes as well. I need to mention the memes. Me and the boys paying a visit to the McDonald's employee that snitched on Luigi Mangione. Oh, I told you that I'm watching The Soprano. I'm still in the first season, and it's such an amazing show. Live, Luigi Mangione's brother reacts to his arrest for the murder of a healthcare CEO, and this is when we begin to realize that you remember yesterday's video about Taylor Lorenz. That was crazy. I just republished that as a standalone video like 1 hour ago, and how so many people are cheering for this guy. This guy is going to get crazy love letters in jail. This guy is going to get mountains of love letters in jail. That is a fact. There's so many people. I'm not going to say like Taylor Lorenz, everybody on the internet. Not everybody on the internet. At least my community, my lovely body language buddies. Jesus Nation, how we call it sometimes. I haven't decided, still haven't decided on it. We disagree on any murder, as in if somebody has committed a crime, then they should be judged properly. Being a vigilante doesn't help at all in many ways. Sometimes maybe we could talk about other scenarios in which taking matters in your own hands. It could be, maybe we can look the other way, but I don't think this was the case, and especially not the way that they are cheering for this guy. And they are cheering for this guy. And now that we know his name, Luigi, and we have not only the memes, but we have the actual reaction. This is what I told you, that Jeff Bezos knows what's going on in the world because he has all the data from Amazon. And on Amazon, the Super Mario Bros. Luigi Pom-Pom Knit Beanie Cap Green, well, it's literally flying off the shelves. Because you can guess that many people are buying this to identify with the shooter. Oh, he did the right thing. Just we need to wear a Luigi cap, Luigi Pom-Pom Knit Beanie Cap Green. Are you paying attention yet? Yeah, it's a phenomenon. It's a phenomenon that we have to recognize it's happening. Okay, we're not gonna know. Oh, it's twisted. Yes, this shouldn't be happening, but it's something without. Let's say that we cannot. We simply cannot stop. Simply cannot stop. I think I have a Luigi cap somewhere. I think that I have my own Luigi cap. Luigi is one of my favorite characters, and in Mario Kart, you cannot beat me at Mario Kart. And I use Luigi. I use Luigi all the time. And you cannot. Please don't even think that you can beat me at Mario Kart. Don't. It's just not possible. Joshua Rayner, all discussions of motive for Luigi Mangione have to start with his back pain. Anyone who has lived with it can tell you how debilitating it can be. Mangione has shared this picture to his X account, which shows a really invasive surgery. It was a surfing accident. Jenny, you are saying something really important, in the sense that the way that he is being portrayed and the reaction that we're seeing, sadly, he's inspiring people to, do all sorts of crazy things. Please don't think that I'm wearing a green tie just endorsing this. That was just a coincidence. I'm not endorsing this guy or this at all. Just pointed that out. And on his Goodreads books, he made sure to include all the books that he was reading. He was reading a lot of back pain. So he was trying to deal with this back pain. And at the same time, a couple of things that we need to read, thanks to Colin Rugg, about this. The back pain was supposedly giving him a hard time having sex. Luigi Mangione had a back condition that was so bad that having physical relationships with his back condition wasn't possible, quote unquote. The update comes as left-wingers are fantasizing about having sexual relationships with Mangione. Yeah, this is a thing. I need to show you this. I'm going to jump forward to this. Meanwhile, the left, you have the reports. Okay. He had in his manifesto, these parasites had it coming. I do apologize for any strife and trauma, but it had to be done. And under that, I don't remember this account, you got comments like this. No lube, no protection, all night, all day, missionary, cowboy, reverse cowboy, doggy, backwards, sideways, on the bed, on the couch, bent over the kitchen counter, by the fireplace, against the wall, in the shower, on the floor, in the basement. What the F? There's something that happens. We need to make like a whole live stream, a whole show, a dedicated show. Why so many women find criminals? We asked that question the other day. Why so many women find criminals? It's like so irresistible. There's no other way to say this. Police say that they found a 262-page manifesto on Mangione taking responsibility for the murder. According to R.J. Martin, the founder of a co-living community in Honolulu, Mangione opened up about his back condition during his time in the community. His spine was kind of misaligned, Martin said, as reported by the New York Times. He said his lower vertebrae were almost like a half-inch off, and I think it pinched a nerve. So he was dealing with this constant pain, and many people are having this opinion about the pain that he could have been dealing with. By the way, like 15 years ago, I was told, well, you have two options, Jesus. You have a back surgery. I have a herniated disc on a lumbar disc. Or you can, lose weight and exercise and have a healthier lifestyle. I didn't have a healthy lifestyle. I had to stop lifting weights like ages ago. So I decided the second choice, not have back surgery. I did the right choice. I'm great right now. After a surfing incident, Mangione told Martin he wasn't in a relationship because he knew that dating and being physically intimate with his back condition wasn't possible. I remember him telling me that, and my heart just breaks. I think that, those nerves that come out of the spine in both ways, the effect of the pain of that nerve can go as far as the whole leg. So you can imagine that what he could have been dealing with, or he's dealing with right now. To save you a lengthy investigation, I state plainly that I wasn't working with anyone, it says. The writer lashed out against companies that continue to abuse our country for immense profit because American public has allowed them to get away with that. And yes, this also, as Taylor Lorenz was right in one thing that she pointed out in the analysis yesterday, that this has to be talked about. There has to be a conversation about this. And it's sad at the same time that we need to reach these levels of crime. Yeah, your sciatic nerves, you're right, Claudette. Your sciatic nerves that can go all the way to the knee. All the way to the knee. So, continuing with this, seems like the shooter had some sort of mental breakdown about 6 months ago and totally vanished. And this is from X as well. Was friends checking on him on, this was on October 30. Hey, are you okay? Nobody has heard from you in months, and apparently your family is looking for you. And November 26th, thinking of you and prayers every day in your name. Know you are missed and loved. And in September, hey man, I need you to call me. I don't know if you're okay or just in a super isolated place and have no service, but I haven't heard from you in months. You're made commitments to me for my wedding, and if you can't honor them, I need to know so I can plan accordingly. So it sounds like the Unabomber, just like the Unabomber that went on this shed he built himself in the middle of nowhere to isolate himself from everything. I think he had a makeshift or he made a gun himself, and he was just there, and he decided that he was, in this case, there's a guy, Mangione, having that manifesto with him. I don't know. It seems that he's the guy, but it's so strange, right? Unabomber. And what I'm saying, how I'm saying that? Unabomber. All right, it's that is the stress is in you. Unabomber. Oh yeah, I was saying Unabomber. All right. Health insurance went way up due to Obamacare. Yeah, we also that's yet another problem. I heard Luigi had a silencer on his gun. That's why it wouldn't fire semi-auto, and he had to cock it each time. Yeah, this was also the way that he allegedly wrote those words on the bullet casings. And we also have this. Jon Stewart apologizes to his audience once they start booing after he says that Luigi Mangione was captured. That's what I tell you. The audience of Jon Stewart, I'm pretty sure that they did this spontaneously. Sometimes happens in these shows that when he says that he was apprehended, then they began booing. Let me see if I can play this clip.
Actually,
why so low on volume, so low in volume, volume.
Actually, I obviously couldn't have been that guy. Today, they did appear to catch that guy today at a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania. It's true. Look, I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, there are people booing. The second B is silent. Unibomber, like bomber, dude. The last B is in a bomber. Unabomber. Wow, that's so complicated. Why can't I say unabomber? You know, like a Latino. I'm going to go for the Latino. I'm sorry. I'm thank you, Spicy Dam. I know that your intentions are legit. Thank you, Dan Blay G, but Unabomber. That is Unibomber. Oh God, all right, you get it. Unabomber. Don't Ted. Let's call him Ted. I'm going to call him Ted. All right, so I was going to leave you with this crazy example of a lady. Crazy example of a lady swooning for this guy. Use your American accent, Jesus. Yeah, my American Latino accent. Unibomber. Unabomber. I say Unabomber. What's the matter? It works for Sofia Vergara, and she's very successful. What's the problem? I think that Sofia Vergara, by the way, has been, pushing her accent a bit. She has been pushing her accent, but it has worked for her. I know that she's got this, presence, which is I need to talk about Sofia Vergara, but Sofia Sophia never gets into any trouble, so I just talk about people that get into trouble. I hope that Sophia doesn't get into trouble. Maybe at some point I can talk about her, like 5 minutes, 6 minutes. I talk about her and her stage presence, which is so exuberant